Hey guys, this is Future Matt, and this is footage of me making pumpkin cinnamon rolls. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I looking at footage of Matt making pumpkin cinnamon rolls? Well, the answer is simple. This part of the video is merely a disclaimer. I know in all likelihood you've already watched the money game video if you clicked on this video to see my reaction of it, but still, I feel like I have to warn people. Some of the imagery in this video can be a little bit violent and a little bit disturbing. Sensitive viewers should use discretion. Watch the video all the way to the end if you want to see how my cinnamon rolls turned out. I love you! Hello YouTube! Alright, so I'm going to be honest with you guys, I wasn't exactly sure what direction to move in right now. I started the Tales series and got through the first 3. I got through Violet's Tale. And my plan moving forward was just to continue right into Vincent's Tale after that. But then I read a handful of comments saying, actually Matt, it might be a little bit better if you went into the Money Game trilogy before you continued and did Vincent's Tale. Some people seemed to agree with that sentiment, others said it wasn't necessary, so I'm not really sure. So this was my deciding factor. I went onto Ren's channel, searched for the Money Game videos, and told myself that if I was intrigued by the thumbnail of Money Game 1, that I would watch it. Needless to say, I was intrigued by the thumbnail for Money Game 1. A lot of you were also kind enough to warn me that some material in the Money Game trilogy here, especially 1 and 3, might be personally triggering for me. I appreciate you guys having my back like butt crack. So I've decided to officially pause Tales and start the Money Game trilogy today. And as always, before we start, a quick mental health check. If you're not doing okay mentally, especially if you feel like you might hurt yourself or somebody else, stop this video and go get help. Find a trusted friend, a family member, medical provider, or reach out to your region's suicide and crisis help service. This world is a better place with you in it, and I'm so happy you're here. Alright family, I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that the first frame of this video is a loose rope on the floor makes me nervous. Who knows, maybe if this is too much for me, I just won't do this and this won't see the light of day. So if you're watching this video, I got through it. Alright everybody, here is Money Game.
It's a strange time we're living in. Bull can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, stripe, fearing, weary mind.
Whoa. Okay, so like a bumpkin, I just, again, assumed something about a Ren video when I should know better by now. This is like, I've done almost 20 of these. I just assumed it was Ren playing the guitar, and instead it's this person in the chair. Or is the person in the chair actually Ren? I don't know, either way, again, Ren is just employing some new creative angle that I never would have thought of in 1,000 lifetimes.
Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, stripe, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer.
Boy, there's like a perfect frame for a thumbnail if I've ever seen one. Future Matt is laughing if I actually did decide to use that as the thumbnail. So I'm finding this to be particularly intriguing. He is using very deliberate imagery, very deliberate lighting. There's almost like a sepia tone. You know, it's this kind of murky, yellow, greenish haze over the whole thing, which is really interesting. You know, also the fact that because he's wearing a raincoat and presumably mic'd up, there's actually a lot of like background noise, you know, like I really hear the coat rustling and stuff. And honestly, like the fact that it's a little bit less polished in that regard is actually adding to the realism of it, I guess, if that makes sense. This is pretty intense so far. I understand why you guys were like, hey Matt, just do it, but be careful, bud.
Turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we die to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
Hmm?
This old money game. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. This old money game.
God, I saw the can of gas sitting over there and I was like, no, it's nothing. Brother, just leave. God, I'm so nervous, guys. I feel sick. No, 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 no. Oh. Jesus Christ on a motorbike. Oh, man. Well, I understand the warning. That imagery was definitely not for the faint of heart. Even though it ended with an implied suicide, he didn't actually show anything. It was still very provocative. That's probably as close as he could have taken it down to the frame without that video getting taken off of YouTube. Okay, so imagery aside, it's a very good song. I really do admire how rich Ren can make a very simple song, like just him and an acoustic guitar. This song he chose obviously a lot of singing, some rapping, which was very good. And it was sort of like a folk blues type of song. My big takeaway from this song is the message. You know, when I watched the video for Murderer, I saw the Pigman again for like the third time, and I asked you guys, hey, what's up with this Pigman? And many of you echoed the same answer, which was more or less, well, it represents greed, or, you know, you should go read Animal Farm, which I have. And that's really like what this whole song was about. Corporate greed, and, you know, how so much of humanity is twisted up in itself right now. I don't mean to take this discussion in any sort of political direction, but Ren made a lot of poignant points. You know, the whole message behind my channel is love yourself, but love the person next to you as well. You know, unfortunately, like, we just live in a period of human history where racism and sexism and xenophobia are just running rampant. A lot of it is the internet's fault. This is something I talked about a bit in a video I put out a couple months ago now called The Power of Kindness. But again, leave it to Ren to just write this like catchy blues style song, juxtapose it with this provocative imagery, and deliver like just a super powerful message. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ren is wise beyond his years. I know he just turned 36 yesterday, but you wouldn't know it if you just read the lyrics of some of his songs. You would think he's like a seasoned 80-year-old man. And I mean that as a compliment of the highest order. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about the message behind this song. And I'm really curious to see how the rest of the Money Game trilogy lives up to this, because this was a hell of a start. And don't worry, I have seen your guys' comments about doing the lyric video for Money Game Part 2, so don't worry, I got you. Thank you for giving me a few minutes out of your day. I really appreciate you being here. I'll see you guys on the next one, and in the meantime, as always, please take care, and remember to love yourself.